When I was Minister for Education for 3.5 years, I knew what I was talking about, preparing the ground so that President Kibaki could declare free and compulsory primary education. Our education system now runs seriously compromised up to the very top. And we have a lot of work to do in trying to properly put our education back on track again. But I want you, Mheshimiwa Secretary General Collins, to be very bold, and say it as it is. Your teachers are hurting. Babu Owino, to thank you because you have done well as a member for this constituency, earning yourself a very cherished position of #1 constituency in the country. There are 290 of them by infra truck. It's a challenge, and I could see it when you are coming in. In fact, the elation did not come from this side. It came from the children. Imagine watoto wenyewe wanajua mjumbe wao amejaribu kuwasaidia. Please keep up the spirit and do not be discouraged in any way. You were in Burkina Faso, and I asked you, what are you doing there? So you have been invited by the head of state of that country, who seems to be gaining a lot of mileage. A military ruler deal, but mindful of the people. Therefore, I urge you today, ndugu yangu mdogo Babu, always be on the side of the people. So, as we bid farewell to Johnson, it behoves us to really take note of where we are and who we are. I do not intend to use this forum, because a very sorrowful forum, to even attempt to reply to some of the concerns. But allow me, Mheshimiwa Babu Owino, to thank you because you have done well as a member for this constituency, earning yourself a very cherished position of #1 constituency in the country. There are 290 of them by infra truck. It's a challenge, and I could see it when you are coming in. In fact, the elation did not come from this side. It came from the children. Imagine watoto wenyewe wanajua mjumbe wao amejaribu kuwasaidia. Please keep up the spirit and do not be discouraged in any way by the political shenanigans going on in the country. Last time I spoke to you, Babu Owino, you were in Burkina Faso. And I asked you, what are you doing there? So you have been invited by the head of state of that country, who seems to be gaining a lot of mileage. A military ruler deal, but mindful of the people. Therefore, I urge you today, ndugu yangu mdogo Babu, always be on the side of the people. You can never be wrong. As I tell you that, I tell my other colleagues who have come with us here, and I thank you for finding the time and really saying nice things. But truth be told, the journey ahead is not easy. We are talking about ukombozi wa nchi ya Kenya. Ukombozi. And the challenge next round is not going to be a normal election. It will be about ukombozi wa nchi ya Kenya. I think Madam Ruth shared with me that your late husband was even thinking of continuing with a bit of political career, because being chair, national chair of KEPSHA, and you're talking about 46,000 headmasters and principals, that's a very political office. And I know that he would have wanted to continue even leading and using his servant leadership qualities to help his community back in Machakos and the country. Kwa hivyo, tusiwe basi, tujue yeye mwenyewe hayuko hapa, and I think the preacher made it very clear what you have are the remains, wherever he is, and those remains will be laid to rest on Friday in Mwala constituency. Therefore, our condolences to the bigger family, the family of Machakos County. I happen to know that they have done their best to make it easy for you by way of preparing the necessary approaches and whatever they can do. So you're not alone. You're not alone, Madam Ruth, and your children. The community is standing with you. Kwa upande mwingine, na nikamilishe tu kusema hayo, please do not be dismayed. AI and whatever, in fact, AI is the way to go. And the Kenyan youth have died. They died, and I keep on saying, June 25th, I call it J25, will be a year since we lost these young people. Remember the tear gassing, people of Nairobi, people in Bakasi, Mheshimiwa Babu Wino, a lot of them came from here. And they went there, some of them young, very young, they had never tasted tear gas. Walipigwa tear gas, wakauawa. Those young Kenyans, even those who survived, are still traumatized. I would have expected this administration to think of cancelling services for young Kenyans, the Gen Zs, because they're still very angry, very, very angry. And that revolution they started is ongoing. In their own minds, in the minds of their parents, you cannot wish that away. And no amount of political posturing. I personally do not like the word politics, but you need to have leaders. I believe in leadership, and particularly servant leadership. But that is a challenge. Mwalimu Collins, our brother, the Secretary General of KNUT, I urge you to stand strong like Ambrose Adongo used to stand strong. And Eric Katumanga, are you still there? And Kina Eric Katumanga, when I was Minister for Education for 3.5 years, I knew what I was talking about, preparing the ground so that President Kibaki could declare free and compulsory primary education. Our education system now runs seriously compromised up to the very top. And we have a lot of work to do in trying to properly put our education back on track again. But I want you, Mheshimiwa Secretary General Collins, to be very bold, and say it as it is. Your teachers are hurting. Now, I gather that 100,000 of your members have applied for promotion this year. In fact, I'm told 25,000 are the only positions that are available for promotion, mwalimu. Mume apply nyinyi. Imagine out of 100,000, only 25,000. Yeah, in other words, kuna mwalimu hapa atapatikana na mtoto alimzaa akiwa more senior than yeye, the same grade. And so, a lot of injustice. Even the criteria used to promote teachers is opaque. And what the young Kenyans are saying, they want transparency. And yet many others remain jobless. And if you do not belong to Kenya Kwanza, in terms of where your loyalty is in parliament, utaona kwamba recruitment letters are dished out, yeah, to candidates at funerals like now. If I'm not wrong, we saw that. Wanapatiwa barua kaandikishe, wewe Mheshimiwa Babu Wino, kwenda kwa sababu wewe ni mwaminifu kwa Kenya Kwanza, kwenda adikisha watoto. You find teachers who have been unemployed since they qualified for the last 7, 8, 10 years being left behind, na mtu amekamilisha last year anapata kuajiriwa. Where is the justice? Mheshimiwa Collins, Secretary General, that's my challenge to you as we honor this distinguished teacher and administrator. And I'm so happy that he was able to narrow the gap between KNUT and the teaching administration. Because KNUT was really on its deathbed, as Senator Ambua said. But it took a person like Johnson to stand for what is truthful and what is just. So Kenyans, fellow Kenyans, this is a time for us to stand for what is true, what is just, what is fair, what is in the best interest of this country. Mambo ya mengine tutazungumza kesho na baadaye tukisonga mbele. We are ready for this challenge because we have a nation to salvage. It is really salvaging a whole nation. And now you have some of your friends, your own son is in the judiciary. Madam, you're in the judiciary yourself. And look at Georgina, a qualified actuary. And she can only do what she's doing. I believe that I would want to follow these children and to see what can happen. You know, Mama, Mrs. Ndabuki, we call her, a serious neck member of the party. And I think that looking at the colors here, I was tempted to think she had something to do with them. But I gather that Mwalimu himself was a key member of the party. We will have to make sure this nucleus family makes it. Wasonge mahali baba alifika na nyinyi msonge mbele. And don't be shy, we will stand with you to the best of our ability. And the judiciary will stand. I think it is wrong, absolutely wrong, for any leader to imagine you can state capture the National Assembly, state capture the judiciary as the executive. And yes, we know the liberties under our Constitution 2010. We will defend those liberties. And an independent judiciary is the most important of all those institutions. Because the other one, ndio watu wanang'ang'ania, watu wa Kenya kwanza na wale wengine, na sisi wengine tunang'ang'ania huko. But Kenyans must really know that whatever, come rain or shine, we will be on the side of the Kenyan people. Mahali wengine tumefika sisi, we have seen it all. We have seen it all, literally, politically. Persecuted, tear gas, almost killed. We can't go backwards. We can't. It will therefore be to look forward with a lot of determination and courage, inspired also at this particular time by the very singular ability of our late brother Johnson. Therefore, may his soul rest in eternal peace. And we've been told what eternity is. Eternal peace. That's where it's gone, to be with his maker. Amen.